Alright, so this video isn't the type of content I usually post on this channel, but I thought it was worth bringing up because a lot of people were curious, or just flat out upset about some things I mentioned in my last D&D video. So my players use the wish spell. This isn't an apology video because personally there's nothing to apologize for. I just want to clear some misconceptions because a lot of you in the comments section brought up some valid points that I did a pretty bad job explaining in the video itself. If you want to watch the video so you know what the heck I'm even referring to, it'll be linked in the description, but for now, here's the gist of it. Also, I know the players in this campaign watch my videos, so if you'd like to keep the immersion going, I wouldn't suggest you watch this video as I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper into the DM side of the table. Anyway, so Acius Deckard made a deal with a pit fiend in exchange for a wish spell that ended up being monkey pawed and used against him. A lot of you were bringing up that Ace worked hard for that wish, and me using it against him was a bad move on my part. I could see why you'd all think that, but in all honesty, the wish Ace got was completely free. It wasn't part of the module, there wasn't anything he'd need to go out of his way to do. I just wanted to give him an incentive to continue on with the main quest. So long as the party finished the module, he'd get the wish spell, and he didn't even need to sell his soul to get it. The soul contract was a completely different deal entirely, which I explained at the start of the video. The party got a ton of legendary gear throughout the campaign, and the wish spell was just icing on the cake. Now, if the entire campaign was centered around obtaining the wish, then I could see why that'd be an issue, but it wasn't, so there's really no issue here. Also, our party's wizard and bard were only a level away from learning the wish spell themselves, so yeah, this wasn't a big deal. Some of you also brought up the fact that the wish spell wasn't even used ironically, and the way the spell ended up turning out didn't even make sense. Now, I completely agree with this part. While we were in the game, I called for a 10-minute break just so I could come up with a way to have the wish spell work. I also may have forgotten to mention a few key parts of the wish that made things a little less dire, so here's what the wish spell exactly did. Number 1, the party was teleported to the astral plane and aged 13 years. Number 2, the village the party was at also aged 13 years. No other part of the world was affected but this village. And number 3, the wish spell absorbed the life energy taken from both the village and the party members and used it to bring the villagers back to life. So only the village and the people in it were affected by the wish spell. Literally nothing else was tarnished. It was definitely a bit convoluted and I can totally see where the confusion came from, but the party had ways to revert their ages and millions of gold coins to rebuild the town. So if anything, finding a way to bring the villagers back to life was a top priority. So in the end, Ace got a free wish spell, used it for things to go back to the way they were, had the village return to the trees and the villagers brought back to life. I totally could have reiterated that better during the original story, but I didn't, so here we are. And finally, some of you thought that the cleric and the rogue were being abused. Well, yeah, they were, but that was part of the fun. If they were upset and angry at me for doing that to their characters, do you think I'd even have the thought of animating it? Well, probably, if that's what you think, but not likely. I only share D&D stories about sessions both me and the rest of my table enjoyed, and the wish spell video was one of the most hilarious moments in our entire campaign. With all of this explained now, I just want to bring this back up again. I still hold that mentality of don't troll your party for no reason. If they worked hard for something, let them have it, or make a really good reason why they're gonna lose it. That's really all I wanted to bring up in this video, and hopefully it cleared some stuff up. I'll try to explain things better in future videos and pick some stories to animate that are easier to understand. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.